Hello everybody and welcome back to some Ion Formula 1 action. We're in Japan, the race that is replacing Canada due to technical reasons. We've come over the Pacific this time instead of the Atlantic Ocean over to Qatar next weekend. But it's a classic track. It's a track everybody loves. Well, I think most people love. And it's the only track that we've raced at unchanged pretty much for the past 3 consecutive seasons. It's currently qualifying. Critical Noob just set the fastest time of the session, and we are looking for times around 1 minute and 5 seconds. Joining you in the commentary box today is Meaty Pod Dolphin and the owner of the Brandstar family of teams, Shay A.
Hello everybody, welcome to the racing. We're going to have some great racing today at Japan, one of the oldest tracks I think we've ever had on this.
And during qualifying, the server
guys.
has managed to crash itself. I think this is a new personal best for Roblox servers dying into an Ion session.
All right, we're just going to get back into that. I don't know what they're going to do for qualifying. Might have to do a restart.
Probably restart the entire session.
New server.
Apologies for this short intermission. We have had a server crash. I think this is the new world record for the fastest time a server has crashed into an Ion broadcast.
True. All right, now we're just going to have to wait for that to restart.
And it looks like we are going to get a just normal complete restart of the qualifying session.
All right.
There we go, there's the current running order. Everybody hasn't got a time because no one's completed a lap yet, but that will change shortly. Indominus Rex set 2 purple sectors on their outlap. Outlap's looking around 1 minute and 30 with Jogsy currently leading the way, but that will shortly shrink down. As you can see, Dakar setting a 124. We're looking for around 105s today. And for some reason, Jogsy's stopped out on track. And
So Jogsy might be waiting for a slipstream. Actually,
I don't know.
no, I don't think
Oh,
he'd be waiting for a
maybe from the
slipstream
race
that far
start.
behind.
Yeah. There we go, the first round of times have come through. The P1 currently Dakar with a 105.890. Mummy second with a 106.380. That's nearly half a second slower than the Brandster. Everybody else coming in with 107s and in the teens, but they'll shrink down. I'm pretty sure they're still out laps.
Oh yeah, we still have to wait until somebody does some proper laps. We have only seen one in the 105s and one in the 106s, and we saw a bunch of those 106s when we were in the free practices. So hopefully those will start whittling down as we have 11 minutes left in this qualifying. So we've only had 4 minutes and 11 minutes to start getting those times up and running. Let's take a look at the people who are actually driving today. We got Dakar and Lanstroid who are going to be running in Brandstar. We saw Matt in the free practice, but it looks like he won't be actually running the race. And we got Mummy and Real Mickey Coolit in Uprise yet again. And Dominus Rex and Rio Rick Ashley in the Beamers. Aviation Chad and Mr. Macho Globe in McLaren, nothing new there. Kai Kara and Patrick Burrow in KRR. Static 5 and Professor are going to be going again for Pro Drive after kind of having a bit of a kerfuffle in Canada. Hopefully they'll be able to get that well up and running. Critical Noob in Space Coast for Red Star. Dan Sahajic and Melodic Adrian are going to be taking those Audi driving spots. Oh, this is interesting. F1 Fan and Triple are both going to be in Craig today, so we're going to have both Craigs on the field.
That is something we did not have in Canada, but of course that race is being replaced with today's race in Japan as Triple goes 5th fastest with a 107.248.
However, it is yet to be seen if Project User for AMR is going to be here today, as I can only see Fernan on the board.
Okay, I cannot see Project. They do seem to be online in the Discord server. However, they don't seem to be online in Roblox, or maybe they're just having to update Roblox. We all know how long and painful those updates can sometimes be. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with the British driver.
That is true. And one of the teams we forgot to mention, Finn and Jaster and Toots for Lamborghini.
Something I
believe that
didn't notice and also haven't been told, I'll add on top of that, is McLaren running a special livery here in Japan. Here you can see it's white and red and it's got a bit of black on it. Aviate on Chad, going head on into the wall.
You remember what happened the first free practice?
No, not really. My mind, that was yesterday. That was so far back.
Oh, let me tell you, free practice 1, Oh man, some of the McLarens started having a little too much fun, started spawning in a little too many McLarens. I think about 20, and started just completely crashing them into the track. Actually, I think it crashed the whole game. And let's take a look. It's now 7:40. We have about 7 minutes on the board. We should start seeing those tracks, those times start to go down a little bit more. We're seeing a lot more 06s, so we might be seeing these start to settle down. Dakar is going to be doing a purple second sector. Oh, drifting across that gas station. Oh!
He's just showing off at this rate.
French can block right there.
And
Dakar is going to be doing the 105.89.
he's setting his fastest time on the hard compound.
Oh.
I really think he's just trying to show off at this rate. He's drifting around the track. He's set a time faster than P2 on the hard compound tyre compared to what I believe Static is. We'll be running on the softs.
Actually,
yeah,
I think that slide is going to be the one thing that caused him not to do a better lap. But nobody's really close to him on his time. The closest right now is Static in second with a 106.2. He just got some new tires. I'm not sure what he's on right now. We'll see. And also Mummy in upright is actually doing really good. He's going to be in third position right now. Okay, yeah, Static is now on the soft tires. He's going to go for that time. I would assume everybody would be going for the time. I don't know what else he'd be doing at qualifying. Patrick Kuro getting a full green. Going to be getting a 106.8. However, he's in the second sector and he is not updated. That's interesting. Hopefully that'll get fixed up. Indominus Rex in fifth with BMW. He's got a 106.7. Oh, Patrick Kuro's falling back a little bit. He's going to wait for a slipstream to come ahead. Oh, hello. Triple for Crate in fourth right now with a 106.5. He's going to take fourth position. A little off the top three for the grid, but he might be able to get there on another lap.
This is Patrick Kuro. They're waiting for a slipstream. I wonder how long they'll be waiting for, because they are revving their engine.
You're doing like a low fuel strat for this qualifying.
I don't know. They're getting
Grip
Dakar
tires,
past them,
low
Static
fuel.
past them, Jogsy
I'm kind of
past
curious
them.
why is Patrick Kuro waiting for somebody to go along? I thought they disabled slipstream for this race.
I don't know, but they are waiting.
And he seems to be the only one waiting, especially that far behind. Or sorry, that far into it. I mean, we still have 5 minutes left in this qualifying. I'm not sure who he's waiting for. He might be waiting for a big train.
And Dakar improves in the first sector. The time is currently slimming down even more. I will have to say, the reflective cars with the new nighttime skybox, they look absolutely fantastic. I love how the reflections come out. And Dakar spun
too soon.
at the car park again.
Somebody do a better time? No, I'm not seeing anything in the top 10 at least. I see Danza Hadrick's getting that 9th position at the moment. It'd be good for Audi to get some better points here. Noticingly, Melodic Adrian is going to be taking that other spot. It's not going to be 420 Merc Music. He was there last week, but he won't be here this week. F1 fan seems to be improving though. He's in the last position. He might be able to get some points off of this.
Interestingly, I do know that Melodic Adrian was signed as a main driver to BMW Sauber. I'm not sure whether they were unsigned and re-signed as a reserve to Audi. Yeah.
Alright, anyways, we're going to have F1 fan going across the line in about 3 seconds. We'll see how his time turns out. Hey, that's going to get him in 11th position. 12th position. His critical new just went up into 4th with a 106.5.
Looks like Patrick Kuro finally started their lap. They've gone yellow and green.
Well, hopefully that green is enough to counteract the yellow, because here he comes across the line. We'll see what he does. Oh, that's not going to be enough. He's going to be stuck with that 106.8 for the time being, as 3 minutes remain in qualifying. Oh, Acer of E-Spirit is now in the car. He's going to be the second E-Spirit driver out on the field, as Jogsy has been the only one for a while. It seems as though the person we saw during the free practice, who was an F2 driver, I can't remember, was it like Mr. Officer or something like that? Officer Cap?
Officer Cap.
Officer Cap. We saw him in an E-Spirit car during free practice. He got, I believe, 4th or 6th in the standings of free practice, but he will not be here during this race. I guess he just wants to stay in F2 for the season.
Professor Bloxer looks to be was the only car out on track improving. They must have crashed or something like that, because they have reset and they are respawning their car and coming out of the pit lane now.
He won't be the only one though. Dancer Hajek, 106. He has those 2 green sectors. He might be able to make something out of it. Decare as well, right in front of him. He's going to have a yellow, but he will also have the purple sector.
Yep, Kaikara has a green sector 1 as they are coming through the final sector here. I'm not sure why their sector 2 didn't register.
Well, here they come. Decare's going to do a 105.2, man. Dancer Hajek's going to be doing a 106.8. That's going to get him 9th position on the grid. Static seems to be doing pretty well himself. He's got a green sector on the first one. We'll see what he gets on the second as he goes across. That'll be yellow. We'll have to see if it's actually a better time, as we now only have 1 minute 20 seconds left on the board.
And Dacare's incredible dominance around this track. It's a track he absolutely loves and adores. It's where he won the Season 3 championship. He lapped everyone, bar his teammate, I believe, last season in Season 3. His qualifying time is currently an entire second faster than the person in second place.
For now, however, this might be the change. It will not be. It's kind of interesting seeing if Decare hasn't raced on this track for a while. We didn't see him last season racing on this track, I don't think. Or did we? Did Decare race in Japan last season?
I just said it's where he won the championship.
That is true. Okay, and my mind is deceiving me. But it's going to be great to see him back on it. But also, Landstroid is going to be back on this track as well. This is one of the tracks he's actually very confident in. If you don't remember, Landstroid actually was not confident enough to be running in Canada because of all the bumps, but this is one that I believe he will actually be able to shine. 13 seconds left in qualifying. If somebody's going to start a new run, they better do so now.
Kakara just getting a little bit squirrely off of the motorway section there.
And this is it. Everybody's going to be finishing their laps right now. Let's see what we get. First one cross, Dancer Hajek at the 9 and 106.8. F1 Fan 14th, Mr. Macho Globe 11th.
Oh, and Kaikara loses their front wing on that lap. They are not going to be able to set a faster time. As Pachikura also loses their front right wheel, their time isn't going to be able to improve. That's a bit of a tragic end to qualifying for KR Racing.
Oh, it's tragic for KR, but BMW sure got something out of it. And Dominus Rex is going to get 3rd position, and Critical Noob's going to get 2nd.
Critical Noob and Dakar are the only 2 drivers to be able to crack the 105 barrier, with Dakar having a 105.284 and Critical Noob about 5/10 slower with a 105.778 in that Red Star car. It's yet another front row for Critical and yet another pole position for Dakar.
Yet another one for Indominus too. However, Static's not going to be very happy with that run. He's going to get 4th. He probably wanted to get one of those top 3 positions. Mommy's probably going to be really happy with that because that might be able to secure Uprise some points in this qualifying. Well, he might be able to secure him points if he keeps that spot during this whole race. Anyways, let's go over the board right now. Your pole position will be Decare with a 105.2 for Brandstar. Critical Noob will be taking 2nd in the grid spots with a 105.7. Indominus Rex with BMW is going to be taking 3rd with a 106.2. Then we're going to have Static with a 106.2 for Audi in 4th. 5th will be Mummy for Uprise. 6th will be Treadwell for Crake. 7th will be Lance Droid for Brandstar. 8th will be Patrick Cruel for KRR. 9th will be Danza Hadjek for Audi. 10th will be Professor Bloxor for ProDrive. 11th, Mr. Macho Globe for McLaren. 12th will be Fernan for AMR. 13th will be Aviation Chad for McLaren. 14th will be F1 Fan for Crake. 15th will be Jogsy for eSpirit. 16th will be Kai Kara for KRR. 17th, Melodic Adrian for Audi. 18th, Real Miggy Coolit for Uprise. 19th, Finn and Jaster for McLaren. Sorry, not McLaren, Lamborghini. 20th will be Acer for eSpirit. My mind. Oh, Lord. 21st will be Toot for Lamborghini. 22nd will be Space Ghost for Red Star. Give me a second.
You're really struggling through this one, aren't you?
I really am struggling through these last ones. I'm not sure. I keep getting Uprise stuck in my head. And then 23rd will be Real Rick Astley for BMW. Man, Uprise really likes to get stuck in your head, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, those top 10 looking pretty good. We got about, let me see how many we actually had that have both drivers in the top 10. That'll be 1, 2, only 2 teams by the looks of it. It's going to be Brandstar and ProDrive. ProDrive's doing surprisingly well after hiring Professor Bloxer, but also Static is doing pretty well in this qualifying as well, actually beating out his teammate. British Aviator is going to tell us that there are 41 laps in this race. We'll be starting the race lineup shortly.
Thank you all for watching qualifying, everybody, but stay tuned. The race isn't that far away. In just a few moments' time, here in Japan, the 8th round of Ion Formula 1 Season 4 will begin. Sadly, we can't race in Canada, so just before we cross the Atlantic and head to Qatar, we've crossed the Pacific and headed to Tokyo, the capital city of Japan, for round 8 of Season 4 of the Ion Formula 1 World Championship. Back last season when this track was hosting round 9 following an early race DNF from Brandstar's Patrick Cura, Dakar 2 went on to win the World Drivers' Championship for that season, something that he will be hoping to repeat at the end of this season. And with this event being ran in place of Canada, the Tokyo Street Circuit will now become the only figure of 8 style track on this season's calendar. "17 corners make up this high-speed street circuit, with many of them 90 degrees or less. These are tight. Turns 8 and 13 are the hotspots to look out for, as any misjudgment of the braking zone here will turn catastrophic for the person behind the wheel. The car park section of turns 11 and 12 is also a prime area to make a costly mistake, as the slippery tarmac will cause wheel spin, slowing the car down significantly. The track jumps up onto the motorway, bringing elevation change around here, and there's also 2 DRS zones, the first on that motorway section and the second down the main straight. As we look at one of the brand new grandstands, let's have a look at the starting grid. On pole position yet again, the 3-time world champion Dakar 2 and Critical Noob is once again on the front row. Indominus Rex lines up 3rd for BMW, with Static 4th for ProDrive. 5th place goes to Mummy in the Uprise. 6th, Triple on their return for Crake. 7th is going to be the Brandstar of Lance Droid, with Patrick Curo lining up in 8th position. P9 going to Dancer Hajek in the Audi, with Professor Bloxer in the ProDrive in 10th position. Into 11th we go with Mr. Mucho Globe for McLaren and Fernan in 12th for Aston Martin. 13th is the McLaren of Aviaton Chad, with F1 Fan in 14th. 15th position is going to Jogsy in the E-Spirit and Kai Kara in 16th. The championship leader surprisingly low. 17th is going to be one of Audi's reserve drivers. I believe that's Melodic Adrian, and Real Mickey Cool at 97 in the Uprise is in 18th position. 19th position and 20th are going to be shared between those Lamborghinis and E-Spirits. 21st is the Lamborghini reserve driver. 22nd is Space Ghost in the Red Star, with 23rd going to one of the BMWs. I believe that's Real Rick Astley, and nobody qualified in P24. Here is that exact grid. The race directors have just been doing a lights test to make sure that this time round they are in sync. Joining you in the commentary box for today's race is me, D-Pod Dolphin, and the Brandstar team owner, Shay A.
Hello everybody, welcome to Japan, konnichiwa. Anyways, we're going to be expecting a lot of good racing today. Hopefully we'll have some better racing than we did at Canada. You know, this is a very old track, and old is better in my opinion, because I love Japan. This track has been one of the places where we've seen some really interesting racing. You don't remember, Low Fun Greg did some pretty good stints in here in GT3. We saw Dakar win his championship last season here, as D-Pod has said. And today we might be seeing some teams start getting in those top positions, because if I'm not mistaken, Brandstar and Audi are actually very close in those constructors right now. And not only that, but Kai Kara and Dakar are going to be fighting it out for that driver championship. It's still in the running, even though we still have three races left in this season. So what happens? Let's hope for some good racing today, and I'll get up to D-Pod to let us on for the start of this race.
Everybody tentatively waiting on the grid for the lights to go out. We do actually have lights this time. Last season they forgot to add the lights, which was pretty awkward.
Difficult.
I don't know how else to describe it. We had to do a countdown.
Kind of interesting. You said there was one driver that did not place. Do we know exactly which team didn't place yet?
Let's have a look. I believe we have everyone apart from two Aston Martins. So
We have
the only person not here
we have
is
the
Project
Craigs.
User.
Project User is the only one. We have both Craigs here, which is an interesting surprise. I'm not sure when the last time we had that was.
I think it was Britain after the summer break. I think.
It's like they're doing the final checks right now before we get started. You know what I find interesting?
What do you find interesting?
In the top four, we have one team that kind of just came out of nowhere last season. We have a team that we didn't think was ever going to place for this season. And we have a secondary team, and we have a team that just showed up the last race. All in the top four.
It's a bit of a randomized order then, isn't it? It's just so many different constructors in so many different positions. It's great just to see not one team dominating. If I look at the Constructors' Championship, we have Brandstar, Audi, KR Racing and Aston Martin all separated by 10 points. Less than 10 points actually, 9.5.
I mean, that still makes sense. We saw last season we had Brandstar, Audi, Ferrari, and Aston Martin taking those top four positions. I don't think anything's really changed there, but now we're seeing some of these other teams starting to pick it up a little bit. And if they come over to Season 5, we're going to be seeing some more interesting racing, I think. Especially since we're going to have Professor Bloxer and Ferdinand back together again next season in Pro Drive, which means Aston Martin's going to have to find something in order to continue for next season.
We have seen these top four teams in the top four last season, as you said, KR Racing being Ferrari last season, but I don't think we've actually seen them all together this close, 9.5 points apart, with only 3 races to go in the season. That's something I just can't remember ever happening before.
I can't either.
And race control has just directed the drivers to jump out and jump back into their cars, which they have now done. And 41 laps
41
have been
laps.
set on the clock. It's not a clock, it's a lap counter, but I like saying on the clock, it sounds cool.
41 laps on the leaderboard.
41 laps on the leaderboard.
And look at those! Look at that crowd. We have a packed crowd today. Usually we see the stands pretty empty, but today we're going to be seeing actual. We're going to see actual fans in the stands.
Actual
and here we
people
go.
are here. And the engines are revved. Someone's walking on the track. 5 lights are now on in Japan. And we are off and away for 41 laps. Getting off the line, Dakar, of course, got a fantastic start. As we dive into turn 1, the pro driver Static 5 seems to be breaking through the pack. And nobody seems to have made a mistake going into that first corner, even at the back. Looping up right onto the motorway. Triple 2000 has got a fantastic start now. Coming alongside Dakar in the Brandstar. Down to the end of the motorway. They're going to be getting the slipstream through here. DRS as well.
Going off the motorway into the streets. Sharp 90 degree coming in. And let's see. Oh, wow. Craig's actually in second at the moment.
Triple 2000 has had an absolutely fantastic start on their return. I believe the last time they were racing in Ion was Great Britain, round 5 of this season.
No,
As
he's already
Triple goes
crashed, though.
straight on! Triple crashes on the first lap. I said it too
no.
soon. Fenenjaster
They need
spun
to
round as
respawn that
well.
car. They need
Real
to
Rick
respawn the
Astley
car.
has
Real Rick
also made a
Astley's lost the
mistake.
wing.
They'll keep going, however. That's Triple out of the race.
Already. Oh, man, that's horrible. He's going to need to get that car respawned. That's going to take out the whole track.
So it's currently Dakar with the fastest lap, which switches straight to Static in second, Critical Noob in third, Indominus Rex in fourth. Let's see if we can get a replay of that incident now. You can see Dakar coming along the straight with Triple in second place. They're going to go straight on and lose the front of their car. You can also see a mistake there from a BMW and a Lamborghini there. Fenenjaster, who just tagged their rear left and spun straight round.
That will be real Rick Astley having that mistake. He lost a front wing. He had to pit in order to get a new one. Oh, another person kind of bumping the wall a little bit. That looked to be a KRR driver, I think. But nothing problematic yet. Nothing problematic.
And as we are about to start
Oh,
lap number 3, Dakar's already leading Static by over 2 seconds. As Static just bangs the wall there.
I take it back. Okay, real Rick Astley actually did not lose his wing in the same area that Treble crashed. He actually lost it right off the motorway on that 90-degree turn, I think. Because I just saw his wing right over there.
Got Adrian coming into the pits now. Gonna get
Melodic Adrian, why
front
is he
wing on
coming
that.
in the pits?
Oh,
He lost the front wing too. Well, Dakar's just running away with it at this rate. The only person who's even close to him is going to be a pro driver.
Fenenjaster almost making the same mistake there at that corner.
You got to be glad that collisions are not on this race, or else this would have been some real rubbing racing.
This is going to be very exciting during the Formula 2 sprint race later on today. That will hopefully be coming to you at a nearly 20 past the hour. It'll be 20 past 7 in the UK. Static just went on as well. Everyone's struggling to get the rotation
Static had
done.
a little bit of understeer. Yeah, Static had a little bit of understeer there. He's going to not be able to take that turn proper way. And that's only going to lead to Care with even more of a lead.
I think some people really have been strapping back the downforce for the long main straight and the long motorway section. But for the tight corners, you need the downforce. If you don't have the downforce, you just can't make them work.
Especially with those
it
tires.
says F1 fans managed to make it up
worn.
into second place, ahead of Dante Hajek, Indominus Rex and Static. This little battle here, scrapping for position 2. There's 5 people here. Critical Noob is there as well.
Hey, I want to see F1 fan do good on a race for once. Come on.
Come on, F1 fan, we will believe in you.
And not only that, but who's that Audi up right next to him? Is that going to be Dante Hajek? All right, well, so we're going to see some good racing today as they start to go off this straight on the minor curve going up to the 7-Eleven.
Dakar
I guess we could
already
just call that the
4.2
7-Eleven hairpin
seconds.
at this rate. Can we
Dakar
just
is
call that the
gaining,
7-Eleven hairpin?
I think Dakar is gaining about 1.05 seconds per lap on position 2, whoever that may
Oh
be.
my
Dakar is
goodness,
just
that is the
blitzing
lead.
this track out.
He's showing why he loves this track right now.
He's showing how he's a 3-time world championship in Ion F1 because he is dominant as ever. This track is
Not
where
only
he's
that,
in his prime.
Not only that, but he's been dominant every season, and this track was here almost every season. And through all the different changes that were made during Ion, he's been able to adapt and overcome. It's just crazy how far ahead he is right now. He might actually start slowing down a little bit in order for him not to make another USA mistake.
Well, if he does make another USA mistake, let's hope that Kaikara will be able to get into the points, as both Patrick Kura and Kaikara are currently out of the points in P12 and P13 respectively. This is definitely not what Kaikara needs in order to have a good championship run and potentially win the championship this season.
Well, he might also still be able to get points as long as there's enough crashes that get everybody in the top 10. However, I'm not sure how well that's going to do for him.
I believe the only two people who have actually physically DNF'd so far is Mr. Mucha Globe in the McLaren and Triple 2000 in the Craig, who famously DNF'd on lap 1 trying to chase down first place of Dakar.
Hold on.
If I think about it,
How
Triple
did
might have been
Mr.
the only
Mucha
person
Globe-
able to challenge Dakar.
How did Mr. Macho Globe actually crash out? Where was he?
I don't know, I can just see that they're 7 seconds behind in 21st position, and that guarantees they're no longer racing.
All right, well, that makes sense. However, I do see a front wing of a Lamborghini on that second to last corner. So one of them would probably
I
have
think
to
that
pit
may
for a
have been
new one.
Fenenjaster's wing, because they came into the pits.
All right. And these high speed areas on the freeway are going to be interesting to see, and on the entrance as well, because a lot of the crashes during free practices happen during that entrance.
Yeah. Dancer Hajek has a purple Sector 1, and with F1 Fan having a green Sector 1, so these two are really hammering it through Sector 2. Dancer Hajek gets a purple, F1 Fan gets a yellow, Static replaces that purple with their own purple.
And here they go across the little corner. Is F1 Fan going to be able to do what Triple couldn't? Yes, he can.
See if Dante will be able to take that fastest lap away from Dakar. They're now coming down over the starting grid. There's the finish line, and they set a yellow Sector 3. That lap time obviously was not quick enough for the fastest lap of the race.
And Dakar going across the freeway right now. Let's see how close the other drivers are to him. Oh, man, I'd say that's a good, 5-6 seconds?
That's 5.35 seconds now between Dakar and the second place of Dancer Hajek. He is absolutely dominating this track. He's dominating everyone up. That's the only word you can use to describe him around Japan. He is dominant.
That is true. Hopefully he stays dominant for the whole course, as well as these other 3 drivers behind him.
Professor Bloxer currently running in 7th place. Kaikara, there's a yellow flag. Indominus Rex must have crashed because they have disconnected from the race. Something's happened to Real Rick Astley as well. They're coming into the pits, I think, or they're just coming in for a pit stop. But I can see a yellow flag being waved. I'm not sure where the crash is, however.
I can't tell where it is either. I am going to be honest. They might have already gotten it up. They might have already got it reset. Yep,
yeah,
they
the
did.
Green flag is now just being waved. I'm not sure where Indominus Rex, where or what happened to Indominus Rex.
It could have been on the second to last quarter. That was the only one I wasn't able to see, or it could have been the first one. Those are the only ones I was really watching.
Hopefully we'll get word of what happens to the BMW very shortly. Okay, so that's now... Finn and Jester has left, and Dominus has left, so that's now 4 people out, I believe. I think... Wow, there's been a lot of crashes here. Toots is the only person now or actually, Real Rick Astley is in 18th, and once they get ahead of Aviaton Chad and Indominus Rex, Real Rick Astley and Up will be the only, and that's just happened, Real Rick Astley and Up are now the only drivers left in this race, with lap 8, and we've already lost Indominus Rex, Aviaton Chad, Jogsy, Fennerjaster, Mr. Mucho Globe, and Triple 2000.
So Indominus started in what, P3 on the qualifying, and now he's actually out of the race.
This track has proven tricky in the past, and it's proving tricky once again. Melodic Adrian has set 2 personal best sectors. Toots has set a personal best as well. If any of these drivers can go purple or do a really quick green sector in sector 2 or 3, then they may be able to snatch that fastest lap away from Dakar, but at this rate I highly doubt it. Unless anyone goes for soft tyres later in the race, that may be a possibility.
Got a big group of cars coming off the exit. That seems to be P2 through P5 by the looks of it. They're going to be starting to make the
That's the big battle, I'll call it. They're 3 seconds between them, and they're all scrapping for a podium.
Not exactly a battle anymore. They're actually pretty far between each other right now. It's kind of looking more like a train.
Well, compared to Critical Noob and Professor Bloxer, who have 7 seconds between them, this is a bit more of a battle.
Leclerc kind of running away with it, but his teammate Landstroid's kind of fallen a little bit behind. He was in P7 during the qualifying. He's now going to be in P9, trying to catch up with the rest of the group. He's got a big group in front of him by the looks of it as they go through these final 90-degree corners.
Vicara's still only 10th. They're only going to be getting 1 point if they finish in this position, but as we've seen before, there have been plenty of DNFs. Real Rick Astley, interestingly, just managed to set a purple sector 2, so with a fresh set of tyres, it does look like you could challenge Dakar for that fastest lap point, which is probably going to be crucial for Kaikera if they want to try and stay ahead of the Frenchman in the championship. 64.5 points for Dakar and 88.5 points for Kaikera.
You got to remember, it's also crucial for Kaikera to get P2 if Dakar gets P1, because that's the only thing that's keeping him from not getting that driver's championship. As long as Kaikera stays in P2 for all these races, he'll be fine. But if he can't even get that, then he might be in trouble.
As things stand, he definitely is in trouble. 24 seconds behind Dakar, about 16 seconds behind second place. They really need to start catching up. See the flashing green light on the back of the car there, just signifying ERS usage, the electronic recovery system. This allows them to, energy recovery system, sorry. This allows them to use electricity and then pump it back into the rear wheel and speed up, basically. They can harvest this under braking using kinetic energy. And your teacher did say that your physics class was important, and that's the exact reason why, because I just described how energy works.
What'd you get in physics class?
This is going to be a lesson in you in British culture. I got a 6 or a 7, I believe, which is like equivalent to a B. But our grades are still different. So basically, I'm smart. That's all you need to know.
You are smart in physics, but are you smart in mathematics?
That's a question for another day. I think we should really be focusing on Dakar right now, who's actually coming up to lap 2. On lap 12, the Lamborghini is already under pressure. Blue flags are going to be waved, and they will need to get out of the way of the Brandstar.
Blue flags? Really?
Well, there won't actually be blue flags, but if I say blue flags, it sounds cooler, so...
Well, you got me excited.
Yeah, stay excited.
As
Pretend there's blue flags.
We're now starting... Interestingly enough, we're now starting lap 12. If anybody's doing 2 stops, they might be starting to take care of those soon. Because I would assume at about lap 14, they would start doing 2-stop strategies. So if we ever see any 2-stop strategies start happening, be sure to look up for pit stops during that lap.
Softs are predicted to last around 12 to 15 laps, mediums 14 to 18 laps, and hards 20 to 25 laps. So those who started on the hards really will be able to go like a hard-soft strategy maybe all the way to the end.
Hang on a second. F1 fans missing a wing?
What happened to F1 fan?
He
We'll
is
try and
missing a
locate
wing
that
as he's
for us,
going through
JA.
the sharp corner. Let's see if we can find where that wing went.
They're going to be losing a lot of time to Static and Critical Noob around them.
I'm not seeing a wing at the moment. I'm looking. Oh, hang on. Nope, that's not a wing. That's a DRS zone.
And into the pits comes
can't
F1
find
Fan.
it. Well, we'll have to find out where he lost that wing, but I cannot find it for the life of me.
I feel like the crate will now go to the hard tyres. That's really what they should be doing if they want to try and get to the end and not have to serve another pit stop. As Fernand also comes into the pits, I don't believe that was for another wing-related issue, but for some reason F1 Fan's gone to the softs. F1 Fan is pretty much now stuck to a two-stop strategy as another yellow flag is being waved. We'll see who that's
Where's
for.
the crash? I can't see it. I can't see it. I have no idea where it is.
Green. I'm not sure what that was for.
Well, we'll have to see
it was
who
for.
it was.
I think it was for Real Ricassi because they have just reset.
All right. There's one of these corners that is really hard to tell if somebody crashes in. It's that second to last one that's right underneath the freeway. It's kind of hard to tell because if you're looking over by the garage and then you try and look over, it is completely blocked off by that freeway. So it's going to be one heck of an area to get crashed in because not only is it extremely sharp and extremely narrow, but I don't think you'd be able to get another car in there once the 3-second collision timer has gone off. This track
now 9 seconds ahead of Static.
But Static's in second, which is interesting. Because we saw Professor Blockster doing runs when it came to USA. And Static kind of had to fall behind because of that one mistake he had during the first corner.
And
But
Kaikara
seeing
has
Static
come into
actually
the
being able
pits.
to keep it up. Kaikara came to the pits. Is he going to be going for a two-stop strategy?
He's gone on to the mediums on lap 14. So if he's, I wonder what tyre Kaikara started on. They could bring these mediums to the end if they really pushed them, or they might come into the pits again for some soft tyres.
A second, is that the car I just saw? Oh, it is. He's going to be going through the final corner right now. He might be lapping another Lamborghini driver in a second.
No, that's still Toots.
So he's just playing cat and mouse for Toots this whole time?
Looks like it. Although,
Well,
if Taker gets within a second of Toots, he will get the DRS from Toots. So, Taker will want that because it will give him a bigger time advantage. He'll be given the DRS without actually having to catch up to someone ahead.
that is true. Static is just
Pro
gonna
Drive,
cross the line,
Professor
I
Blocks
believe.
are in the pits as well. They're boxing for some
Alright.
new tyres.
Static's still out there, by the way, so it's going to be interesting if they're doing some different strategies.
And it's the hard compound for Professor Bloxer. They're certainly going to want to go to the end.
And Decare has finally made the pass on Toots off of that sharp corner. And he's going to run with it, but here comes Static, I think. Yeah, Static and Danzahagic actually aren't that far behind still. They're trying to keep up. They are only 9 seconds behind him. Well, I say 9 seconds. That's actually pretty bad.
Well, considering it's Dakar around Japan, it's probably...
I mean, yeah, don't feel too bad about yourself. You're actually doing pretty well
They're
compared to the rest of
fighting
them.
pretty
Just
hard.
Critical Noob.
2 seconds between Static and Danzahagic. That's alright.
I mean, Critical Noob's actually still 9 seconds behind them at that rate.
Yeah, Critical Noob, who
So,
started second, has really fallen off a bit. They're usually up there, fighting for the lead, and they're in fourth.
Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's actually a pretty sizable lead.
As Lance Joy comes into the pits. But the good thing for Critical is they have a 10-second gap behind, so if they do make a minor mistake, they will hopefully retain that fourth position and keep the points.
Oh, we see a pit right now. I can't see who this is. That'll be Lance Droid. He is pitting. He's going to be going on hards by the looks of it.
We'll wait for them to come round to the camera, and it does look like hard. Yes, it is. They're going to the end as well.
Real
Acer and Real
Miggy
Miggy as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a pit stop. He's going for hards as well. He's going to go for a similar strategy.
Acer goes
I
to
wonder if there's any
mediums.
comparison between the two strategies. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Hang on a second. Okay, I see Decare and Audi right behind him. Is that Melodic Adrian or is that Dan Sahadjo?
That's Melodic Adrian, I believe, has just come out ahead of those who just pitted. Static and Dan come into the pits as well. Static doing this very interesting strategy. They've gone into E-Spirit's box at a 45-degree angle. This will give them a big advantage coming out of the pits. They'll go straight into the fast lane.
How does the angle actually play a part in getting out of there faster?
Pointed more towards the pit exit. You don't have to go straight and then turn.
That is true. Alright, we're now 17 laps in. All 2-stop pits have been done, I would assume. The next time we're going to be seeing pits again, it'll probably be 1 stop, which will be around 2021 mark. Maybe even 22 mark.
F1 fans, it's a purple sector 1. Professor Bruxus, it's
Oh,
a green sector 1.
Here comes another pit. Here comes another pit. That's Decare. He's now pitting.
Dakar is in the pits.
Will it be... Will his lead be able to keep him in the lead, though? I'm not sure. He's getting out of the pits now. I don't see anybody
It's
else
a
going across the
23-second
corner.
gap to Critical, who's now rounding the final corner. I think that's Dakar, still in the
And here
lead,
comes
and Critical
Critical
boxes as
coming.
well.
Yep, Critical's boxing. We're seeing some similar pit strategy right now. But here comes Static and Dan Sahadjo. They're going to be going right past Critical now. Critical going to that final spot of the pit lane. Oh, there's a yellow flag. There's a yellow flag. Where's the crash? Who crashed?
I think it might be Melodic Adrian. They have reset.
All right. Hopefully they are able to get that car reset in time. I'm not sure where it was.
And it's
Again.
to green.
Man, I haven't seen any of these crashes recently, and the only one I really saw was Trico. Goes to show you how big this track is.
And Patrick
And these
Ura has
buildings-
managed to get ahead of their teammate. I'm not sure if they've pitted or not. I know Kaikara has, but I can't remember if Patrick Ura has or not.
I mean, they are still close together. I mean, we might be able to see like a pit stop section if somebody wants to put that on. Actually, I could put that on. Hang on. No, Patrick Ura has not pit.
So Patrick Ura and Mummy are the only two drivers out on track who have not come into the pits. The uprise there just crashing into the wall a bit, but they are still going.
No front wing lost to either. That's going to be pretty lucky for him.
Yep, unsurprisingly, Mummy is running the hard compound tyre. That's expected to last anywhere between 20 and 25 laps, and it is currently lap number 19, which is currently being led by Dakar 2 in the brand start, who has the fastest lap of the race and has a purple sector 1.
I'm seeing a bit of a battle right now. It looks like a Lance Droid and Patrick Crew are actually kind of close together right now. They're going to be fighting out on that DRS section. Going down the exit right now. Going to be interesting to see what happens. Patrick Kuro battling his own team.
Lance Droid
there's a
slides!
Lance Droid feels the pressure. Now he's got to deal with Kaikara right behind him.
Toots is coming to the pits as well. Here is the replay of that incident.
And on board with Decare point of view right now. Racing starting to kind of get a little slower now as people are getting separated. We're seeing a bit of a battle between P2 still with Dan Zahajic and Sedek. I think Dan Zahajic actually has taken the lead now. And about maybe 6 seconds behind them, maybe 9 seconds, it's going to be F1 Fan, and behind him will be Ferdinand. They're going to
The
start
gap
battling
between
it out. And
Static
Critical
and
Noob's
Dante
gonna get 'em.
Hajek is really small now. There are 2 car lengths that goes between those 2 cars of the Audi and the Pro Drive. Static is the only one of the 2 which has DRS.
Seeing some interesting battles take place. It's going to be interesting to see if Kaikara will actually be able to take the pass on Landstroy and keep him from getting any points during this race.
So far they're 9th and 10th respectively. Kaikara has a 3-second gap to Professor Bloxer as Mummy comes into the pits. The Uprise is going to be switching to a new pair of boots, or should I say 4 boots. They're going to be mediums for the Uprise.
Alright, so mediums, we're on lap 21 of 41. This is where the ones start happening. Was Mummy on mediums at the beginning of this race?
No, they went to hards to mediums.
So it's kind of interesting. They're going from hards to mediums and it's only halfway through this race. What kind of strategy are they thinking?
I don't know. They may actually be able to gain on those who are going to do a 2-stop. Such as Fernand, I believe.
Oh, Kaikira going across the parking lot a little bit there. Or was that Patrick Crew? I can't even tell anymore. Wait, where is the other? What happened to... Oh, what happened to Kaikira? He's so far behind now.
Kaikara's ahead
Or is
of
that
Lars
Patrick Crew?
Droid.
Wait, no, it's Patrick Crew. Patrick Crew fell behind. And
Yeah, Kaikara's
done
10 seconds ahead of Patrick Kuro, I was about to say.
I was about to say, what happened? Because I thought Patrick Crew was in front of Kaikira for a little bit. It looks like they finally did a little switch up. You gotta remember, in helicopter view, I can't exactly see the names very well.
Oh, and Patrick Kuro comes into the pits. They've stretched
finally.
their medium tyres 4 more laps than it was expected to work.
A little bit of an update. Danza Hadjic actually gaining. Static's falling behind a lot more after that pass. He's now, I would assume, maybe even 4 seconds ahead of Static now. Critical News still trying to catch up to the Aston Martin and Craig in front of him in order to get that P4. And behind them will be Professor Bloxer. And then the KRR Brandstar battle.
Going under the motorway here. Oh, just hitting the wall a little bit there. Critical noob. But they are safe. They haven't lost any wheels. They haven't lost any wings. They are deploying ERS and trying desperately to catch up to Fernand in the Aston Martin and F1 fan in the
all
Craig.
3 of them were. All 3 of them were on ERS there. So it's going to be really tough for you to be able to catch up to them unless you have the DRS on that zone. Which I think there is DRS over there, right?
Yeah, there's DRS down the motorway and there's DRS down the main straight. Critical Noob and Fernand both have DRS open right now. They are neck and neck coming off of the motorway section. They're trying to get ahead of F1 fan desperately. Critical Noob bangs the rear right wheel again on the wall there.
Wait a second.
F1 fan holding them at bay though in the Craig. F1 fan's doing fantastic this race. They're running 4th. Any mistake from Dakar, Dance or Static will mean a Craig podium for F1 fan. But let's not get our hopes up just yet. We still have nearly 20 laps of the race to go.
There's a crash! Crash on the entrance! Crash on the entrance of the freeway! That's going to be Acer with E-Spirit. He is out!
For once, we've actually
They
caught
just respawned
a
the car
crash.
too?
We just caught a crash live.
Man, I just went over to that entrance when I saw that crash. He was right next to Dakar, I think.
Yep, so that now means that P11 and up are now still in the race, which technically puts Patrick Kuro in last position, although they are just 1 position away from the points. So 1 more crash, everyone's in the points.
Oh my goodness, I just realized that's almost half the grid now gone. What happened?
It is, half the grid's gone. P22, 21,
where-
20,
where
19,
did
18,
Miggy
17,
crash?
16, 15, 14, 13, and 12 are all gone now. I don't know
When
where
did Miggy
I don't know where
crash?
Miggy crashed. All these people are crashing and we're
Oh.
not even noticing it.
Oh, that's heartbreaking because this means another Miggy crash. Will Miggy ever be able to finish a race?
I don't know.
Oh, wow. Big battle. Big battle with Craig, Red Star, and AMR. They're actually pretty neck and neck at the moment. AMR
is
kind of
Fernand
falling
Critical
behind
and
with Craig
F1
and Red
Fan.
Star. They are really fighting for those positions now. Whoa, hang on a second. Landstroy was actually able to get ahead of Kaikera, I think. He
Oh,
did.
yeah, he did.
Wow.
Kaikara will
That's
have DRS,
incredible.
however. The Lance Droid will not, because the nearest car ahead is over 5 seconds.
I can't believe this. An old McLaren driver actually putting in better racing than Kaikara at the moment? Who would have guessed? I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I mean, it's good to see Lance Stroll doing better again.
Oh, an F1 fan comes into the pits. They have to, because they went to a 2-stop. They're now on the mediums. They're going to try and fight all the way to the end. They're now in 9th position, so they have left. They've departed the Red Star AMR Craig battle.
Oh man, Patrick Kuro actually fell behind a lot. Takara's actually lapped Patrick Kuro, I think. And Dan Sahajic will not be too far behind.
So, we're receiving accusations that Static is running with extra gravity. I'm trying to see here on the rear of the car their camber.
No, I mean, you can't always tell if he's doing extra gravity. The only way we'll be able to find out is if Fastug does an announcement after the race.
Yeah.
It's the only time we'll ever be able to get some hard accusations. Other than that, you know, there's no reason to start throwing accusations. They check that stuff every race.
Yeah, they're not. Even though it may seem like they're not very committed and they're barely here, the senior directors, they are committed and they do check pretty much everything. Because
I mean,
if people are hacking, then that just ruins the. I don't know what word to use, but that just ruins the championship.
It ruins the competition. I mean, we saw with Capitan Bo, and Castronics actually used it once, although, you know, he's been unbanned. He'll probably be back for next season. But, you know, it's not good to use hacks. And not only that, but if you don't remember, Ion Bad Boys, everybody was claiming Capitan Bo was running hacks, even during the end of Season 3, and nothing was done about it. And then we found out that they were actually just checking it all along, and nobody knew.
Yeah. Everyone thought that they were being ignored, but
yeah,
there's another yellow flag.
Didn't even know. Oh, the yellow flag. I do not know where that is. I was checking the entrance, and I saw nothing.
That might
Who was it?
For I don't know.
See who's fallen behind, and then you will know.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see who isn't updating.
All right. Well, until then, I'm going to keep looking around.
Is that Lance
Static
Droid?
doing a green.
That was Lance Droid. Lance Droid's out.
Oh shoot! Last Droid's out, which means
Everyone's in the
is
points.
The last Grand Star out. Everyone's in the points. So if KR can keep it at it for this rest of this race, they're going to be able to get double points.
As F1 fan just managed to switch places with Kaikara, they're now going to fall down to 8th position. Kaikara has a Quake in front of them. They really need to get their mojo on.
Yeah, now you also have an uprise to worry about as well for Patrick Kuro. But, you know, that's a good 20 seconds difference. Will he even be able to catch up to that? Feel bad for Lance Droid. This was one of the tracks he was actually most confident in, and now he's crashed out.
It's good for KRR. That's all I'm going to say.
It is good for KRR. That is true. It's also good for Audi as well, because that means less points for Brandstar.
Although they do only have one car remaining, like Brandstar.
That is true.
And Dance is running in second place. Yes, as Kaikara pits again.
So he was going for a two-stop strategy.
Our number 86.
Does he know
pits
something
for the
we
second
don't?
Time.
Static's actually catching up a little bit to Dan Sahajic as well. It's now about a second difference, maybe even less.
And they've gone back to a fresh set of mediums.
Fernand in 5th position. He's trying to catch up to Critical Noob at the moment. Interestingly enough, these last 10 drivers to stay in here, one of them is an uprise. And we still have more than 10 laps to go.
Yeah, lap 29 of 41. I'm just trying to observe the tower here. If I'm not mistaken, KR Racing and ProDrive are the only two teams that still have both of their drivers in the race. And the irony with that is KR Racing are, I think, one of the oldest teams with their previous incarnation of Ferrari competing in every season. And ProDrive showed up, let me look at the clock, 2 races ago.
USA. Yeah. Oh,
Professor
no, you spoke
Blockster
too
has crashed!
soon.
I talked about them again and it happened! I have a
You
curse!
spoke
I
too
have a
soon.
curse! I'm so sorry!
You spoke too soon. I saw it too.
I'm so sorry, ProDrive! I said it and he crashed straight away! Oh my god.
Oh, right on the entrance too. Why are people crashing there so much?
I think I pressed the replay
Man.
button. I can't remember.
I'm gonna have to start looking at that entrance a little
No,
more
I
now.
didn't. No, I definitely didn't press the replay button. Sorry, I didn't get a replay of that. And I also apologise to ProDrive. I'll take the blame for that one. Just don't talk about them from now on.
That means that KRR is now the only team with both the drivers out on the track still. Which is going to be interesting, because I would assume Patrick Kuro would be able to keep on this as he was able to last season.
An F1 fan has just set
I
2
could've-
purple sectors and taken the fastest lap. Sorry to interrupt you there, Shay, but for the first time
No,
since
it's okay. That's great.
for the first time since the first 2 laps, someone else has set the fastest lap of the race on medium tyres.
F1 fan just wants a little bit more of that crate colors on the leaderboard, I think.
Yeah, love the purple.
Okay, but as I was saying, it's like Patrick Kuro and Kai Karo will probably be alright, because Patrick Kuro and Kai Karo have been able to hold their own on this track before. However, I also said the same for France, so it's yet to be seen if they're able to withstand the length of this track. Oh, hang on a second, I'm seeing a pit happen right now. That's going to be Dan Zahajek.
I think Fernan also just came into the pits as well.
I can't see that yet, but I am looking at Dan to see what he's on. He's going to go on mediums.
Fernan has gone on
Yeah,
to some
he's
softs.
Oh man, this race has gotten really separated now. It's really about who stays on the track at this rate, as both KRR drivers are now close together. Kind of going into
81.2,
a mutual...
81.7 for Kaikara and Patrick Kuro. They're both in the points. Unsurprising because everyone's in the points. So
Static looks like he's about to lap them though, as he's just done
Are
a purple
they?
sector on sector 2. Hang on a second. No, they're not too far away. I think they're about a couple of corners between each other.
the thing with KR Racing here, they are both in the points, but they are both in last place.
Last.
They're the slowest team that has managed to complete 32 laps.
Oh man, this is going to be interesting.
This is the good thing for the team, it's points. The bad thing is they're running at the back half of the grid. The good thing,
Well, that
another good
also still
thing,
means-
Mummy's
Hey,
just gone behind them.
Just think of it this way: if we have any more crashes, they'll be fine as long as they, start slowing down a little bit. As long as they keep those positions and the crashes happen, they'll be able to do anything but. They will be able to do nothing but do better.
Exactly.
Well, actually, I say that, but hang on a second, because Mumsy's actually catching up to them now.
Oh yeah. Just ignore that part. And
Yeah,
we'll be good.
sorry. Not last anymore.
Not last anymore, but you do have a raging uprise right on your tail.
Yeah, it's like you're not last, but Mummy kind of wants those points. Uprise isn't really doing very well in the Constructors' Championship right now. They don't want to lose their team.
They have 8 points. They are at the back. They are in 12th position. Maybe if Miggy was able to complete some races rather than just competing in them, maybe they'd have more points.
Well, they might actually be able to get ahead of E-Spirit, because E-Spirit is now completely out with that Acer crash. However, they're going to need more points than that.
Yeah, they're going to currently get
that's
2
awesome.
points in their current position as Critical Noob comes into the pits.
Critical Noob in the pits, what's he going for? What will he
He's
do?
currently on the hards. He's done the rotation thing. That's right, same as Static. just not as much, and unsurprisingly, they've gone to
That's
softs.
soft. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Mummy's actually catching up to them now.
Kaikara will,
Oh, one of the KRRs kind of bumps.
yep, Kaikara will want to defend against an uprise, because if the championship leader is beaten by the worst team on the grid, as things stand in the Constructors' Championship, that will be a little bit embarrassing for the Croatian.
That's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be a morale crusher right there. But he's gonna be able to get DRS off of them as well, off of that final straight. But I do not think it will be enough for him though.
Nope. And yep, the uprise is now ahead of the KRR car.
For now. For now. But it's interesting enough that he's kind of in a sandwich at the moment. So will he be able to even pass the next driver? No, he won't. He's going to spin. Oh, he almost lost it.
That
Had
was
to fall
very
back a little
close.
bit. That was very close, and the one thing you don't want to do here is crash.
And I think
His
Kaikara may
tires
actually
is
now be
probably
able to get ahead
turning.
of the uprise because of their little incident there.
Lap 34.41. We're doing really good. It seems to be only 9 drivers now on the field.
9 out of 22
Static is now
starters.
22. Static is now 22 seconds behind. And I'm seeing a bit of a fight now between AMR and Red Star. That's going to be Fernand and Critical Noob.
Critical has set a purple sector 1 with their fresh new tyres. I want to go on board with them here because I think that if they keep this pace up, they will be able to get the fastest lap.
That might be the case, you're right. And what is this? Is this another fight I'm seeing? It's the KRR. Oh, still the uprise. But it seems as though they're really starting to battle it out now, going off of that exit. Will he have another spin? He will not. He's going to hold his traction this time. Seems as though Critical Noob was able to take over.
Critical
Yeah,
Noob
Critical
has
Noob
2
was able
purple
to take the
sectors.
advantage.
It's a
Will it
third
be
purple
enough?
sector, and it's a fastest lap for the Red Star.
Red Star will definitely be liking that. But he still has to catch up to F1 fan.
It's another point going to the team in P5. It's another point going to the driver in P2. As things stand, Critical Noob will be catching up to the championship leader of Kaikara.
He won't be the only one, though.
Kaikara
Alright.
will also be catching up, I will be honest.
Well, yeah, of course. And I'm looking at Danzahagic right now. He's going to be going across. He's going to be finishing the last corner in a second. He is in third. He's got a lot to catch up. Where even is the Pro Drive? The Pro Drive isn't even in his sights. He's already on the freeway.
So far ahead is Static. Again, ahead of
But-
Static is Takare. With just 5
Yeah,
laps
there's
left
like
to go.
there's like a whole track in between all 3 of them. You got a third of the track where Dakar could lap Dan. You got a third of the track where Dan could catch up to Static, and the third of the track where Static could catch up to Dakar.
Something
Oh my
happened
goodness,
to
hang on
F1
a
fan.
second.
F1 fan's out.
F1 fans out, but that's not the only thing because Mummy is now past the KRRs.
So
Mummy could be able to take 6th.
KRR are now 7th and 8th, but they're still last. They've been overtaken by an uprise. If anything, at this
Oh,
rate,
man.
both the I think if by lap 39, by the end of lap 39, if Pachakura or Kaikara both can't get ahead of Mummy, then they might as well just come into the pits, strap on some soft tyres, and try and set the fastest lap. Maybe there may be team orders as well for Pachakura to give Kaikara 7th place, because that will mean
Maybe.
they'll be able to get more points. Or maybe
That
just bring
could be the
Kaikara in, and then tell Pachakura to slow down. I don't know.
But you have to remember, they have to get those fastest lap for it to even be worth it.
Yeah. Because yeah, I see what you mean there.
And man, Mummy's actually running away with it at the moment.
Yeah,
They got a
2
lot of ground
seconds
to
now.
catch up. And here comes Dan Sahadjic across the 7-Eleven. Still in third. He's 37 seconds behind the first place. As we are now on lap 38 of 41, we have only 4 laps left.
3.
Once we finish
three
this
and a
one,
bit.
we will
3
be
and a
done.
bit.
Yeah, 3 and a bit. And wow, hang on a second. Oh yeah, the KRs are actually kind of falling behind a little bit by the looks of it.
81 seconds for Mummy, 83 seconds for Patrick Kura, 85 seconds for Kaikara, who is improving. Did a PB in Sector 1, but if they can't improve enough to get ahead of Mummy within the next lap or so, I really think they should try come into the pits and gun it for the fastest lap of the race, because it will give them an extra point if they can get it from Critical Noob.
Maybe. But yeah, I don't see them being able to catch up to that. At least not in the next few laps. Unless a mistake is made. Fernand actually doing pretty well right now. He's in 5th position at the moment after that F1 crash. Where even was F1 Fan when he crashed? Like, what position-wise?
6th, I think.
So yeah, F1 Fan will definitely be falling behind in order for Fernand to take that 5th. Actually, no. If he was in 6th, Fernand's just been 5th this whole time. But Mumsy will definitely have something about that. But hang on a second, because Critical Noob's kind of falling behind. AMR still trying to fight with him. It's still anybody's race. Lap 39.
Nothing is confirmed until each driver crosses the finish line and passes by the waving checkered flag. So there are still 3 laps to go in this race, which now becomes, or is about to become, 2 laps to go when Dakar crosses the line.
Still a bit of a battle between the KRs and the Uprise. However, at this rate, I'm not seeing a way for them to catch up. Dakar is about to cross the line in order for us to start lap 40.
Kaikara is 5 seconds behind. I really think Kaikara needs to come into the pits this lap and try and set the fastest lap.
Well,
lap 41.
if he's going to, let's see what happens, because
the time is now, and no, he's not.
Still
he's
going.
Staying out.
He's still going. I'm not sure they figured out that strategy, or if they're thinking something else.
Or they're just praying for one of the cars ahead to DNF.
They really just want to get ahead of Uprise. Oh, man! Oh, he hits the wall a little bit off of that entrance. He should be lucky that he didn't crash out.
Patrick Kuro just ahead of Kaikara by 1.2 seconds here. So Kaikara isn't even fast enough to get DRS off of his teammate.
Well, I'm not sure what they're planning on in the pits. Not sure what they're telling them. I mean, we'll have to find out if they send us a recording, and you'll hear about it in highlight. But if not, I guess we can only go off of assumptions. Oh, that was a bit of a spin. I couldn't tell who that was. It was the KR in the back. Oh, and we're now on lap 41, I believe. This is it. This is the final lap. It all comes down to this. As it shows right now, Dakar's in lead with Static 25 seconds behind in second, Danza Hadjek in third, Fernand in 5th, Mummy in 6th for Uprise, Patrick Kuro and Kite Kara at 7th and 8th, and everybody else has now crashed out. Seeing as I don't think they were able to finish enough of this race, that means only the top 8 will be getting points today. I mean, it depends on how many people finish this actual race, but whoever finishes will be getting points. And we're about to find out who, because Dakar now only has 2 corners left, and he can pretty much coast through them now.
Last time out in Japan in Season 3, he won his 3rd championship. The stakes today are a little bit lower, but it's still a Grand Prix.
He's going to stop.
He's
going to stop. He's going to walk across it.
There it is. It's a Grand Prix victory for Dakar once again in Japan. He wins the Japanese Grand Prix with Mummy claiming 6th position after being lapped. Static is now coming through Sector 3.
Going to let him go past. Patrick Crew is going to let him go past. He's going to get that 7th position.
Kaikara gets 7th, Patrick Kura gets 8th. The next driver to cross the line will be car number 55, static_5 in the Pro Drive. They get a podium in Ion Formula 1 with Danza Hajek getting one more corner to go. There we go, through the DRS zone. They won't have DRS activated, of course. They're going to cross the line, get 3rd position for Audi, get another podium.
We have now one left, and that's going to be Fernand. And Critical, actually. Hang on.
Critical Noob,
Critical
sorry.
pass?
Critical Noob is going to come round and finish 4th with the fastest lap of the race, with Fernand coming the final car to cross the line out of 8 finishers here in Japan. 5th place goes to Aston Martin. What a race that was. We had a lot of DNFs.
That has been an interesting race. I mean, everything besides Takara getting first, but everything else was kind of interesting. Critical Noob, Fernand, they're all going to get some great points. Fernand getting great points, although it won't be enough to get ahead of Pro Drive, at least for this race. But Mommy and Uprise, wow.
P6, that's going to be great points for Uprise. Will it be enough to get ahead of E-Spirit? I'm not sure.
I think everyone's coming down to Parc Ferme now, just to wait for the cars to arrive.
Right, by the looks of it, okay, so E-Spirit would had 14 and Uprise had 8. So it means they would need 6 points in order to at least tie with them. And seeing as Pro Drive now has some points, it means the next one they have to get ahead of is McLaren with 33. Anyways, we're going to be starting the podium shortly. Means holding down the right click is not fun.
Static arriving in the Pro Drive. There's Danza Hajek arriving in the Audi, and I believe Shea is now just going to bring Dakar's car down the pit lane for us to line it up in the P1 spot. There it is. It's not Dakar driving into the Parc Ferme area, but it is his car arriving in the Parc Ferme area. It's another win for Dakar. It's another win for Brandstar. It's another podium for Pro Drive and another podium for Audi. So I think we can class this because Canada won't be counted, and before that we had USA, so I think Pro Drive is the only Ion F1 team that can be classed as having a 100% podium record, with Professor Bloxer winning in the USA and Static getting 2nd in Japan, as his car gets absolutely obliterated.
It was Demas. Guess we're gonna have to get another one over there real quick.
There's a lot of people on the podium who shouldn't be. Yeah, you can see Rolf and Greg with a sword just chopping them up. 3rd place is Danza Hajek for Audi. 2nd place is Static 5 for Pro Drive. And Dakar wins again in Japan.
Oh, I think I got caught with that one. And that will be it for F1 today. What an interesting race we've had so far. Brandstar getting another win. Static getting a 2nd place for Pro Drive. Another great finish for Pro Drive. Not only that, but Audi will be able to get some points today as well. And Uprise getting some exceptional points in P6. Will it be enough to get him ahead of E-Spirit? We will find out when standings are updated in our Discord server.
Join that by heading to the link in the description. Something else you can find down there is the link to become an Ion member. You just saw the current member scroll past on your screen. If you want to support the media team, help us out with the work that we do, feel free to join. Of course, it's not required. It is a nice little something to give back to the the people here that put a lot of time into producing this content for you. So from me, from Cheye, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for Formula 2, that's up next. But until next time, until we go to the Middle East, thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Goodbye.